Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to share some of my most recent thrift store finds with you. I hope it's something that interests you as much as me. I love going to the thrift stores and recycling centers to look at old furniture and items. Almost everything in my house is bought secondhand, and my whole life I have been especially fascinated by vintage and antique items. I think that the root of my fascination is the history each and every item carries. The mystery of the people who once made them or owned them. Was it a gift? Was it something they cherished once? Was it lost, sold, inherited, or just simply discarded? What would the story behind each thing look like if it could be told? Since Siskola came into my life last spring, I have been feeling extra motivated to actually buy something if it fits the vision I have in my head about how the farmstead will look one day. I wanted to share some of my latest thrift store finds with you in this video, and also some things that I got from my aunt from her country place that she recently sold. So let's get to it. I got this vintage shelf for 15 euros. It's in a little bit of a rough state, but I'm sure a little surface treatment like sanding and oiling will spruce it up once again. I really love these round pegs. This ceramic pot I got half priced at only 2 euros, and I think it's quite versatile. It can be used, for example, for utensils in the kitchen. Love this enamel pot that I got for 3.50. It's in very good condition. That rose print is exquisite. Here is another similar one with small colorful flowers. I will probably use them as plant holders. This is a lovely older glass pitcher. It's quite heavy. I also got it for half the price for 3.40. I'm not sure if this is a candle holder or a vase, but I love the vintage look of it with the decorated board around. Also 2 euros at half the price. This little ceramic plate will be nice, for example, as a soap plate. It looks homemade. I really love the faint flowers it has. The price a whopping 2 euros. This vintage fruit bowl is adorable. I think it's also the perfect size, so it's quite versatile. And I love these like metallic cords that make this pattern. It's just very nice. This is quite a versatile basket. I have a bigger one that I use all the time. I think it's from IKEA, but you know, it's a timeless piece, and I paid 6 euros for it. So not so bad. This porcelain tea holder was also half price, and I got it for only 1 euro. I had been looking for something like this, so I think it was a great find. I bought this little cross-stitch frame artwork on Facebook Marketplace for 5 euros. I just love the colors and it reminds me of Siskola. It's also quite well done. Is it cute or what? This old cookie tin I also got on Marketplace for 5 euros. I don't know what kind of birds these are, or those berries, or even what kind of cookies used to be inside, but I love the bird motif and the colors. I think this old wooden butter container was also 5 euros, and it will look great in Siskola's kitchen one day. This is quite an antique piece, but it's in very good condition. Many of them have been painted during the years. I really like this old coffee grinder. It's not in such a good condition, but I don't mind the distressed look of it. And I really like this cream color it has and the vintage combination with orange. I don't remember what I paid for it, but probably around €5. You can probably already tell that I love old tin jars. This one is huge, and I don't remember what it cost, but I know it wasn't that expensive. Everything just used to be made so pretty, don't you think? This jar you probably already saw me buy at the antique fair in Billnäs. It was love at first sight. I think it's a tea jar, but I'm not quite sure. I did a reverse image search, and from almost 60 billion images, I found no reference whatsoever. If anyone knows what it might be, please let me know in the comments. This was a great find in my opinion. It's a firewood holder made from copper. It looks like a mid-century piece with this rotating wooden base, and it has this wrought iron handle. It looks a bit drab now, but just wait until I polish it up. It will be stunning. It was €10, so I think it was a total steal. If you have been watching my videos before, you have already seen this beautiful clock that I got last summer at the thrift store close to Siskola. I love the vintage look and the contrasting colors. It was €35, so really worth its price. Here is another one similar to the one I had from before. It's exactly the same size, and I also believe that the key for the other one also works for this one. This thrift store find is quite unique in that it is a chess game timer from a chess club. So cool, and it actually works. These glass jars from the brand Pentic are quite lovely. I don't think they are that old, but they have a vintage look. I bought 4 in total at separate locations. They come in different sizes and cost between 6 to €10. Perfect at Siskola. This is a mug made by Arabia. It was a bargain at only €4. Usually they are around €10 at least when they are second hand. I love this vintage painting. It's so cute. I bought it from a Facebook group a while ago, and I can't remember the exact price what I paid for it, but I will take it to Siskola once I start decorating there. This is an old Fortuna game. I love the combinations of aqua turquoise with tomato red, and it looks really nice as a decoration piece. At the moment I have it in the kids' room. It's homemade, and it's made as a Christmas gift, 1960. This colorful wooden toy horse is quite fun. I bought it also as a decoration for the kids' room. After making some research, I found out it's apparently a rare Yermilovsky original, handcrafted and hand-painted. It's a Russian Hohloma horse, probably from the 70s. Here's a black one sold at Etsy for €60. I don't know what I paid for it, but probably just a couple euros. I am often drawn to vintage toys. Here is another fun one with a clock on one side and on the other a counting frame. This huge vintage glass jar is by Karhulan Lasitehdas, and these were designed in the 1930s, I believe. Karhu means bear in Finnish, and they are quite sought after in Finland. Not the bears, but the jars. There is a bear on the lid there, and these jars are quite durable and very practical. I paid €8 for it, but in this condition with the lid intact, they can easily cost at least €20. This is one of my favorite thrift store pottery finds. It's a ceramic bowl from West Germany from the 1960s. I don't usually get something that has any nicks in them or is broken in any way, but I thought this was a really nice piece, and you can see it has a little crack there that has been glued, but you can hardly see it, so I thought this time it was okay. Next, let's take a look at the things that I got from my aunt's country house. Here is a lovely, very classic looking kitchen towel in the style that I like for Siskola. I don't believe it's linen, not sure, probably some thick cotton fabric. These two wooden candle holders are very special because they were made by my grandfather Walter, who was born in 1906. He made them in Porvoo in 1938, where they lived during and after the war, when the Soviet Union had taken over their home in Hangö Peninsula. His only inheritance was to be able to study to become a teacher in carpentry, while his 3 brothers and 6 sisters helped take care of his home farm. This copper oil lamp was made by my great-grandfather, Claes Anjan. He was born 1886. And when he was 16 years old, he was a sailor and worked on a cross-Atlantic steamer. This lamp looks like he might have built it in one of his crossings. The hook to hang it looks like it's made by a spoon handle or something, so maybe this is upcycling at its best. Later in his life, Anjan was a machinist in a cookie factory, so he used to get discarded cookies to take home to his family. These jars are made of some kind of ceramic plastic blend, like pyroceram or bakelite or something. But I think they are quite nice. I like the shape of them, and because of the neutral color, they would look nice on any open kitchen shelf. I also got this quite big oil lamp in copper that might be useful at Siskola, maybe in the sauna, because there's no electricity there at the moment. My aunt also gave me this enamel soap holder. It's a bit rusty, but I haven't tried cleaning it yet. But take a look at this. It goes perfectly with the washing stand that I got previously that had a missing soap holder. It really looks like it belongs there. It even has that blue rim around that goes with the rest of the set. This knitted throw was made by my grandmother Margit, who was born in 1911. Like many in her generation, she was very good at various handicrafts, like needlework, weaving, embroidery, and knitting. I actually remember this blanket from her house. As a child, I used to think it was quite ugly, but I like it a bit more now, and I like that it reminds me of her. This little carpet was also made by my grandmother. Looking at the colors, I believe it is from the 1960s. I remember as a child that she used to braid those little fringes on the end of the carpet. There's always this nostalgia factor to consider when it comes to an item. Do you have any items that carry some special memories like that? Or any great thrift store finds that you are really proud of? Please share with the rest of us if you have any stories like that. Thank you for watching this video and have a wonderful week. Bye bye!